Hello my plant lovers, it's me. Let's go propagate Tradescanthia pink dragon, otherwise known as bubblegum together. This is a super easy plant to propagate. It's fantastic for beginners to learn how to make new baby plants to give away to friends, family, or just keep it oneself. The first part is to locate nodes. Nodes are important because this is where the roots grow out of. This is where new growth grows out of. You can locate the node on the stem, and there's kind of like a bump, a ridge that goes around, completely around the stem. Also, you can see nodes where basically where the new leaves are coming from. That's where the node is located. Want to get our clippers and cut about 1.5 centimeter or about 1 inch below the node. It's best to clean your clippers beforehand, but honestly, this is such a hardy plant. This time I couldn't even bother cleaning my clippers. Once I've got my cuttings there, what I want to do is remove the bottom leaves. And the reason for that, I don't want the leaves to actually be stuck in the soil when I'm popping it in the soil and planting it in the soil, because the leaves can rot and actually ruin the cutting. The soil mixture I'm using, this is such a hardy plant. Honestly, you can use any soil mixture you like. You can use normal potting mix. You can use cacti soil. You can use orchid mix. You can use soil that's just from the garden. It's just such a hardy plant to grow. And so there's no special requirements required. In this case, I'm just using regular potting mix. The pot I'm using, this plant actually grows super fast, so I would recommend you use a bigger pot. You can go to a 20-30 centimeter pot. This is such a fast growing pot. If you use a pot that's like a 10 centimeter pot, it's actually going to be so small that this plant, you're going to have to repot it again in the next 3 months. So a bigger pot is recommended. In this case, I'm using a ceramic pot, and it has a drainage hole in it. So it's important to have something that has a drainage hole. If you don't want to use a ceramic pot, you can use just a normal nursery pot that has drainage holes. I don't tend to use terracotta pot because I find with a terracotta pot, the soil for this plant will dry out too quickly. Once I've chosen my pot, all I'm going to do is pop normal potting mix in it. I actually fill it up almost, I leave around about 3 centimeters from the edge of the rim of the pot, which is about 2 inches from the rim of the pot, because I want to make sure that when I'm watering this plant, it doesn't overflow, like the soil doesn't overflow and come out. So I've got my cuttings here. All I'm going to do is use a stick, which in this case is a chopstick. Just going to pop a hole in, dig a hole into the soil and just pop the cutting, making sure one of the nodes is actually in the soil. Now, if you find that your cutting is too long and you can't actually get enough of the node in the soil, don't worry about it. Honestly, this plant is just so easy to grow. With the cuttings I have about 7 or 8 cuttings I'm going to pop into the pot. With this plant, you don't actually need that many cuttings, because the new growth not only grows from the cutting, it actually grows underground in the soil through the roots. So you don't actually need that many cuttings. Once that's done, I just pop in the area where it receives a lot of bright indirect sunlight. I don't want to put it in direct sunlight because it can actually burn the leaves of the new cutting. And then I'm just going to thoroughly water the plant. So you don't need any rooting hormone for this propagation. And then I'm going to show you what it's like. So this one here is the propagation I did about a month ago. I can tell that all the cuttings have survived because none of the stems have actually gone brown and died off, and the leaves still look super healthy and super fresh. There's no new growth on the actual leaves, so I can tell that the plant is actually prioritizing its energy to grow new roots rather than leaves. This is what the plants look like in 2 months' time. There's a lot of new leaves growing on the cuttings. Also, there's actually new baby plants growing underneath in the soil. because I can see them popping up on the surface of the soil. And that's because this plant can actually grow new plants from the root system. And this is what the plants look like in 3 months' time. One of the pots had the pure, just the Tradescanthia pink dragon, or otherwise known as bubblegum, in it, because I can tell because the flowers are pinkish white. Where the other part, I must have accidentally popped in a Tradescanthia quicksilver, because the flowers, not only there's some that are actually whitish pink, which is the pink dragon, but some of them, the actual flowers are pure white, and that's Tradescanthia quicksilver. So you can use this technique to propagate any Tradescanthia you like, and try it out. It's just a super easy way to propagate new plants. If you have a different way of how you propagate your Tradescanthia, I'd love to read about in the comment section down below. And don't forget to help your crazy plant lady out by hitting the likes button and subscribing to the channel. Watch this video here if you want to know how to take care of a Tradescanthia. I'll see you in the next video.